Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. This is a place where we come together to chat and connect and to create and have some paper crafting fun together. Today is August the 12th, 2024, so August is about halfway through. Pretty hard to believe. Let me just introduce myself. I'm Lillian from Stamper's Niche, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada. And the weather here is gorgeous. I think it's kind of perfect. It's in the 20s, and I can hear somebody mowing their lawn. It's not too hot. It's just great to be outdoors right now. So I hope it's wonderful where you are too. So I don't know about you, but I was just thinking about holidays and the fact that our summer holidays are nearly over. And I was thinking, are you a person who likes to go on holidays in the winter time, in the spring, in the fall, in the summer? What time of year do you like to go on holidays, or do you prefer to stay home and have what we call a staycation? So let us know in the comments as we go down to my desktop and we do this little transition time. So when do you like to go on holidays, and do you go away or do you stay home? There is the question we are getting to get the conversation started tonight. And for some reason, I did something to my phone holder a few weeks ago, and we are not yet on speaking terms. We're getting, I don't know what I did, and I don't know, but anyway, we'll work it out. Going to the Maritimes. Oh, that's on my bucket list, Sharon. We've had it on our to-do list, and then it always gets canceled for some reason or other. And I more and more I enjoy staying at home. And the funny thing is Harry didn't used to like to be a traveler, and now he wants to travel. So right now he has the travel bug. It seems like every trip we've planned lately has been canceled, and so he is determined that we are going to be starting to travel. We'll have to see. Pardon me. I think he's thinking that our window of time to travel is getting smaller, and he wants to take advantage of it while we can. So that's just us. So I see quite a few like staying at home, and some of you like traveling, and some of you go at all different times. We quite enjoy winter traveling because the weather is so nice here, usually in the summertime. But we'll see. Anyway, as you're chatting, I'm just going to remind you that there is a designer series paper sale on right now. 15% off these ones here. So there are these. So you might see some favorites there. And there are these. Now, if you're not sure, remember last week I talked about how you can have a closer look at what is on sale and even the individual papers. So if you bring the camera, whoops, this is what you want to zero in on, is this down here. And then you can click on the little link that pops up, and you end up at my website. And you can go down and look at featured products, but I like to click on my little lines and click on Shop Now. And when you do that, here is the sale. So let's click on that. And now you can see the papers that are on sale, which is nice and bright. But you can see the individual pictures as well of the papers. So what this was regularly $17, it's on sale for $14.45. So if you need to get some more designer paper. Now on my computer, there we go. Where am I going? There, you can see, now there's the front and back of that sheet, and the front and back, or the back and front, whatever. So you can see, the papers in much more detail. So don't be afraid to take a look and see that. So you can go to my website, or you can click on this, and that will help you, or you can go here too. So those three little lines, I call them the magic 3 lines. So take a look at that. So I thought it would be perfect tonight to show you a project using designer paper. And I was cleaning through a file that I had, and I had some things that I was wanting to do with Monday Night Stamping, and I came across this card that I'd filed in there. So this card uses one of the papers that's on sale, the, what's the name of it again? Countryside Inn. So it's the blues, different blues and white. And the neat thing about this paper, this design of card, is you get to see both sides of the designer paper. So look at how we open it up like this and then like that. So we get to see the inside of the paper and we get to see the outside, and you can embellish it however you want. So this is basically what we're going to do tonight. Now you could have made your designer paper the same width as the card front. I chose to make it a 1/4 inch smaller, so there's a bit of a border, but you can adjust it. The reason I went so that it was only 4 inches, I could get more out of one sheet of designer paper than if I was doing it 4 1/4. So let's take a look at what I'm using. I'm going to be using this piece of cardstock. It is Summer Splash, and it is 5.5 by 10. So it's half a sheet of paper, but I cut 1 inch off like that. And then I scored it at 5.5. So now when I fold it, I'm going to have this side here just be a little bit shorter, 1 inch shorter actually, than the back. So let's just burnish that fold while we're here. Wherever my bone folder is, like that. So now we have that. And then I'm going to bring in the designer paper that you chose. And so often I give you something to choose, and it's sort of half and half. This was clear cut winner. So we are using from the Unbounded Beauty. I knew it was Unbounded something. So we're going to use 4 by 11. So 4 this way, 11 this way. So again, just 1 inch cut off, and we're scoring it in half at 5.5. So let's fold that right now. Like that. So we've got this piece that's folded in half and this piece that looks a little wonky, but it won't when we're finished. And I just thought I would show you something. This is why I need to buy some more designer paper. This is all the designer paper I have of my Unbounded Beauty. And I keep the really smaller scraps in a page protector with my others so that I can pull out scraps if I want, and because it's see-through, I can see right away. And I just saw this. I'm going to keep this for the envelope, so hopefully I'll remember that at the end. So that's just a storage tip there that I have shared before. So what we're going to do basically is tuck this in here, so it's going to go right up to the fold like that. So it's going to go, just let me get this, it's going to go from edge to edge, but it's going to have a border top and bottom. So when I close it, it's going to go like that, right? So now we will keep the fold on this side and put adhesive here. How many of you use your designer paper more readily, I will say, than you used to? I used to save it, and I have been encouraging myself to cut into it and start designing with it. And it's just been really freeing. So are any of you on that journey of using more of your designer paper? I just see I've folded this slightly off and it's going to bug me. Just fix that. So now we've got the basic card like that. So smart and economical use of the DSP. Yeah, I like to use it, but I like to make good use of it. And by cutting it at 4 inches, it It made quite a difference. Now, you'll notice on this card here that this is folded over. You're not afraid to cut into it. That is the key, isn't it? We know where we can buy more, right? And there's always beautiful stuff coming out. So what we're going to do is fold this down so that this edge goes even with this edge. Now, I'm just going to do it, but what you can do is soften those fibers just a little bit, give them a little bit of a curl. That's optional, but it's something that you get less of a crease, I guess. So I'm going to put my fingernail in here at the point and bring this over, and let's just gently push it down, and I'm going to flatten it. You could leave it as a roll, but I'm going to flatten it like that. And that's how you get to see both sides on the front. And then we've got so you can see both sides of that gorgeous paper, and you've got it like that. So now what you can do is you can either glue it down flat or put a couple of dimensionals to add some dimension there. Now I'm just going to show you on this card here, these elements I tucked under the flap, and then the words on top, and then these were here, and this was just to kind of anchor that. That was the thinking there. So let's just see. I stopped to think and I thought, what is a stamp set that I haven't used for a while that maybe I would like to, and I want to come up with the plan before I decide about gluing that down. So I decided that, what's the Cheerful Daisies I haven't used for a while, and the sunflowers and Rebecca are out right now, and I just love the yellows. Mind you, this is not going to be yellow. This is going to be white. Let's see, should we go that way or that way? I think I'll go that way. So obviously I'm not tucking it underneath. I can fasten this down. I think I will use a couple of dimensionals just to add a little bit of interest. And we've got that down like that. So if this is going to go like this, and my words are going to go here, or yeah, like that. Okay, so we need to make this a little more interesting. And I also die cut some other things to play with in here. So I took the designer paper and cut some layers for the daisies out so we can make it a little more interesting by doing that. I think we're going to sponge the centers too. So we've got these like that. And there's a die that cuts this little almost filigree. It's really fine. And these are in colors. And guess what? There is glimmer paper in the in colors. So we have all the different in colors, so it coordinates. Don't you love how Stampin' Up! Stuff coordinates? So I think we've got a rough plan here. I'll bring in a bit of paper. I'm going to sponge a bit of Pretty in Pink, because that's the color in here, just in the center of the paper. Or should I do yellow? Oh, I'll just do Pretty in Pink right now. Just add a bit, just to add some interest. Close that up. And then we're going to glue these on. I'm going to bring my silicone mat in and flip these over. And it looks good with just the white, but I think this adds a little more interest, and it was fun to cut them out of designer paper. So that was my thinking here. So we'll bring these over and get rid of that. So just like that. Ooh, I like it with the pink center. How many of you like that pink center? That's making me happy. There we go. What's a stamp set that you have that you haven't played with for a while? Is there one that we should be revisiting? Sometimes when we get all caught up in the new things, we forget some of our old favorites. There we go. So this can go on here like that. I could have sponged this too, but no, I think I'll leave it. And because this is a bit flimsy, well, could I? No, I'm going to glue it right down, and not going to glue those two because they overhang. Do you ever do that to yourself? You come up with a plan, you have to talk to yourself. That seems to be me. I was at a demonstrator event on Saturday morning, and we got to play with some of the new things that are coming in the mini catalog, and you are going to love them. Even though I had gone through that catalog 100 times, there was stuff that I hadn't realized. So I will share more of that. So I cut one out of the designer paper. I cut one out of the Summer Splash. I cut a few, obviously. One out of Pretty in Pink, and one white one. So let's see, what shall we do here? Let me see if we go like that and like that. Ooh, that looks pretty. Do we need some pink in there? There we go. So what do you think? Should I put the pink in there or not? Oh, sorry, it's a little hard to see when it's sticking to my fingers. Should we add the pink? Oh, you like the daisies, Linda? Thank you. Pink, yes. Okay, I think I'm going to go with those three like that. Let me just see. Then that will be sort of coming from here. I could move this over a smidge. There we go. Okay, we will add some adhesive, and this is where you want just tiny dots, and you don't need tons. If I had been thinking, I would have used my adhesive sheets, but I didn't think of that till afterwards. I should figure out a way to remember my adhesive sheets beforehand. Let's just see. There we go. Like that. Stay down there. And this one here. Do you ever think to die cut designer paper? It's a wonderful way to add some interest. Stamping on it's great too. So we could go like that. So far, so good. What do you think? Yeah, I like the pink too, Roz. It just ties it together, doesn't it? All right, let's put a lid on the glue and get my silicone mat out of the way. And, oh, I know I was going to add some ribbon. Well, I'll do that in a little bit. Now, I wanted to stamp, You Made My, and then I wanted to put Day on the inside. So I went back to my Unbounded Love dies, and I chose this die here and this die here. And I was thinking that this one could go here because it would kind of ground these. That was my thinking anyway. And this one could go here with maybe a bit of ribbon tucked behind it. So let's see. Now, Many of you know this trick, but maybe some of you don't. There is a way to use your stamps so that you only get part of the words. This says, you made my day. I want just you made my. So I'm going to use either a Post-it note or this sticky tape, and I'm going to cover up day. Then I'll bring in my Summer Splash. And I'm going to ink this up. Now, the other thing you could do is color this with your marker, not your blends. Your blends would stain it permanently. It doesn't work, but your marker. But I don't have a Summer Splash marker. That's on my list. So I do it this way. So you made my, there we go. Phew. Now we need to clean it. Bring in my Stampin' Scrub. My chamois good. There's a good question. Who prefers a chamois over the Stampin' Scrub, and who prefers the scrub? Or does it depend on what you're doing? If I'm traveling, it's the chamois, but when I'm at my desk, it tends to be the scrub for me, but I think that's because that's what I used for years. So now I'm inking up day, and I'm going to stamp that right way up on the circle. Just like that. And while we're at it, we're going to put a little 3 3/4 by 5 piece on the very inside to write on. So in here, we might as well stamp that too. So that's going to be the liner. And in the daisy stamp set, there are these little daisies. I'm going to ink them up, and I want them lighter, so I'm going to stamp them off. Actually, they might have looked nice in pink. I'm going to switch right here. I had planned to do them in Summer Splash, but I think when I stamp words in here, I'll use Summer Splash, and I'm going to use Pretty in Pink. I'm switching plans midstream here. So we've got dark, second impression, third impression. I think I'll go for second. And we'll put you right down in there. So it's just nice and light, but it adds a little bit of interest like that. We might as well put you in while we're at it. How many like this way of using the designer paper? It's pretty easy to do, isn't it? And yet it really does show it off. So there, we've got that there. And so here, just to anchor these so they're not floating in the air, I'm going to glue that, and I'm going to glue it right down, not a dimensional, because it's on the inside and we don't need any more bulk in there. We want it to close up. So we'll put that there, like that. Close our ink pad. That's living dangerously, having it open. So now we're just going to finish off the front. So we've got this here, and I'm going to put that on dimensionals, but I wanted to put some ribbon on it. And because tonight I'm also showing you how I store my scraps, I store my scraps of ribbon in a clear jar. And I have a couple of them, so they're sort of sorted. I just got this at a local dollar store, and I was thinking that maybe something like this would look good. So you're going to have a choice coming up. So the silver trim, so it's sheer with silver trim, or gingham. Which one? The silver trim or the gingham? Or you can say black or silver. But let's make it easy to do. Black or silver. Sometimes when I'm pretty much out of ribbon, this is Yeah, I think so too, Bonnie. I think it picks up on the sparkle. We will go with that. But there we go. So this was already made from some other project. I wonder if it'll work just the way it is, or if I need to do something with it. Let's see. If this is going here, I could just shorten it up a little bit, couldn't I? I think I could shorten these and it would work. So I'm going to put just a little bit of seal here to hold that in place so I have an idea. So let's double check. There, we'll bring my ribbon scissors in my little garbage container. Let's shorten this up a bit so it's not hanging over the edge. Now let's have a look. What do you think? I think I like that. So we will bring in some dimensionals. Now we'll make sure that we're not putting dimensionals here. I'm going to put my fingers there, and the dimensionals will help hold the ribbon in place too. They'll multi-purpose. Just like that. There we go. And of course, we need some embellishments now. We've got these. These are the iridescent faceted gems, so they have some sparkle to them. Or we have the in color gem, what are they? In color shimmer. And we have them, and we have them in both of the colors. So let me find some pink here as well. I'll have to open some up. But anyway, well, you get the idea. Oh, there's some pink here. So should I use the in colors or the white? Let's go in colors or white. Which should we use? Let me take these off so you can see a little better. In colors or white. Which one should we go with? White. Okie dokie. You've got speedy fingers there, some of you. Excellent. So, oh, there we go. Now move these out of the way. And I'm going to bring in this. They're just so sparkly, right? And okay. Toughest decision of the night, where to put the embellishments. And, oh, I could have put them in the center of the daisies too. I think I'm going to put it just right there. Then we've got it done. So there you have it. There is this. I've also designed it so that we can do it with 6x6 paper. So, oh, I just saw this. It's a good thing I put it there. I said I was going to use that on the envelope. Now, normally I like to cover the whole envelope. I don't have enough paper left. So how could I use this for on the envelope? I was thinking that once I have written in the card and put it in the envelope, I could put this here. So instead of a sticker here, you're just sticking your designer paper here, and it just adds a little interest. What do you think? Do you like doing that idea with the envelope? Ooh, I'm seeing lots of love for this card. Excellent. Thank you. I was so happy when I found it and went, oh, I went to show that a long time ago. So here's the card that started it, and I have one more. And this one I made with the 6x6 paper. And so I adapted it. I also learned something. If your paper's not coming to the bottom, like I stamped along the bottom here, it is going to show. So you have to decide if you like that look or not. So with the 6x6, I cut it to 4x6. and then I folded 1/2 inch under, and then I put my white to be 4 by 5 1/4 so that it lined right up. So you can see maybe that there's just 1/2 inch here instead of going all the way across. But it's the same idea. And I turned this one, the scraps I cut off, into a gift card holder. So there you go, like that. And these flowers, again, are cut from designer paper. Now, some of you have been asking me, how do I make this shape here? So just before I say goodnight, I wanted to show you what I do is I use what's called the Modern Oval Punch. And I punch it out. And now some of you are going, oh, I get it. And I stamp on it. And my paper cutter's buried. I'm just going to snip across. Just pretend this is a nice straight cut. So I've stamped on one of the sides here. And then I've put some dimensionals back here and layered it on top. So the reason it's got that raised part is there's dimensionals behind where the hello is. And then, so it's just the one punch, cut apart and layered like that. I saw some other demonstrator share that, and it's just genius. I've used it quite a bit. So there you have it. I hope this inspires you to use your designer paper. And just a heads up, there's some gorgeous Christmas paper coming too. But I'm not quite ready to do all the Christmas stuff yet. I am having lots of fun with this design here though. So if you do make this card, I'd love to see a picture, and please feel free to share. You know, tomorrow I will share a picture of what we made tonight, and if you share under that, that's absolutely great. So there you go. And have fun with it, folks. It's a pretty easy one, and it's one that wows. It's one of those, you know, I call it my Rice Krispie one. Everybody's impressed, but it was pretty simple. All right, so there you go. Oh, I know. Do you have a favorite of these three? The Navy, Petunia Pop, or Summer Splash? Do you have a favorite? Thanks for joining me, everybody. Remember, if you need some help or you want some product, you can always contact me or visit my website right here at lillian.stampinup.net, and I'll gladly help you whichever way you want. Righty. Oh, one more thing. Be watching for these. Mine are arriving any day now, and you're going to want to see the inside. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.